After the game, Clay talked about how he was tired from just the change of pace and with the Pelicans series. Is it an adjustment to when you're going from a team like the Spurs, who is methodical in their approach, to now a team that's one of the leaders in pace? Is it different?
It's definitely a big adjustment. If you don't, you got to keep up with that pace. You got to get back in transition. If you don't, you're gonna lose. So it's a huge adjustment. Two completely different styles of play. Nonetheless, it doesn't take that long to adjust the pace of play. Especially we play fast anyway. So definitely was a little, more tired than other games last game, but nonetheless, I think we did a pretty good job of handling their pace.
You guys have known all along you can get Shaq back at some point. You've been playing very well without him, obviously. But with all that said, will the team, whenever he does get on the court, will the team get an emotional boost for that this season?
Obviously, just seeing any of your guys come back from injury is always an emotional boost. To have Steph back out there, would definitely give us a boost. Nonetheless, still got to play the game. Everybody can come back. Michael Jordan can come back. If you don't go out there with the right mentality, playing the right way, playing the game to win, it won't matter. So, you just got to be ready to go with no matter who's out there on the floor, and I think we've done a decent job of that.
How's Steph looking practice the last couple of days?
I be trying to focus on myself and focus on us as a team, and things that we need to get better at and, do better on the defensive end. I don't really focus on trying to figure out how one guy look. That ain't really my job. Not necessarily, because when you win game one like that, it makes game two even harder, and that's one thing that we do know and understand. That's a very good ball club over there that we're playing against. Like you said, they've reinvented themselves, on the fly, losing a guy who averaged 30 and 10, or whatever DeMarcus averaged, somewhere near that. And they reinvented themselves to be in the position that they are. So, one game isn't shaking anyone like that. Like I said, if anything, it makes it harder for us. That's a very good team with a good coaching staff, who's going to come after us. So we got to go out with the same mentality that we did game one, knowing that, we played a good game on our home floor. Played in the way we played at home, we should have won like that. But that doesn't guarantee anything for tonight or the rest of the series.
You're known personally for your help defense, and a lot of that, I assume, is anticipation. Is that pretty hard playing against someone like Rondo? And it just seems like he's always sort of thinking one step ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Rondo definitely keep you off balance. He's one of the few guys that I really respect in this league as far as IQ. There's not many guys in this league that can think the game like Rondo. And so he definitely keeps you off balance. You're kind of reading him and he's reading you at the same time. It's kind of a chess match. But nonetheless, I trust my instincts. I trust my knowledge of the game, and whatever I do, I just try to be decisive in doing it, as opposed to halfway doing it. I think that's when you get lost. That's when you cause confusion, amongst your own team on the defensive end. So whatever I do, I just try to be demonstrative in doing it and just go, or whatever that may be. He's a great player. I didn't really need the game one to know, what Anthony Davis is like. I've played against him a million times now. Know he's great. Some of the shots he missed, he usually make or can make. Nonetheless, I think we did a pretty good job on him. But that, that won't be easy, throughout the rest of the series. He's grown into who he is in this league for a reason. A very special talent. So, we got to continue to do what we do and guard him. It's a team thing. It's not one guy. I think Kevon did a great job. I think when I was on him, I did a decent job. But nonetheless, it's not just like, oh, it's me on Anthony Davis and I stopped him. Kevon's on him and he stopped him. Like, no, it's us with the help of a few others, and we understand that. We know, that you have to. It's a team effort in stopping a guy like that, and so in saying that, you probably won't stop him, but it's just trying to make him take tougher shots as opposed to giving him up easy stuff.
With Rondo, it seems like he's one of the guys that seems to play with an edge. Do you like that, some guy that kind of has an edge to him? In addition to being
Yeah, I love that. That's what basketball is missing. They tried to force all the guys with edge out. So I love when a guy plays with edge on the basketball floor. That's what this game was built on.
Do you reflect in that? Edge reflects edge?
I just be me. I don't really think about it in that sense. Just approach the game how I've approached basketball my entire life.
You've been bringing your son to games a lot. Why do you want him to see this journey?
Well, number one, I just love spending time with him. It's obviously a special thing to have a son, so I love spending time with him. But also just, my kid is going to grow up in a completely different situation than I grew up in. I grew up, as much as my mom did for me and provided for us, we weren't very well off, and growing up in Saginaw, Michigan, it's a little different than growing up in the suburbs out here. But just try to show him work ethic. And, I know he's 16 months. He may not understand it now. But, you train up a child in the way they should go. And for me, he'll grow up with things I never grew up with money that I never grew up with, and I just want him to have an understanding of where it come from. Like, it just didn't happen. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So many times you see kids that grow up privileged and just don't have a clue, and it's like I never, my goal in life was to always, to never let my kids grow up the way I grew up, but have an understanding of the way I grew up and the things that will help make you successful in life. And so, that's why I try to have them around, and any time that I can, when I'm working or headed to work or late night shooting, whatever that is, just so they understand where it comes from and how it happens. And it just doesn't happen overnight. You just don't wake up and you're in a good position financially, or you're in a good house. Like, that stuff don't happen overnight, and I just try to get them to understand that.
Draymond, what's enabled David West to be as productive and efficient as he is this season, given where he's at in his career?
Well, number one, he's a competitor. Very smart. Never has backed down from a challenge in his life. I don't know if he's ever seen a challenge he didn't like. But he's a true professional. Takes care of his body, understands the game, helps everyone else out. He's vocal. And I think, what the point is, I think people tend to forget 3 years ago he was starting, and he was a key piece on the team. And he kind of let that go himself. It ain't like somebody forced him out of Indiana and said, man, we don't want D. West here no more. Like, he can't hold up that weight anymore. Like, no, he decided to move elsewhere. And so, so many times you see, what was that, year 12 or 11 or 12 of his career, so many times you see a guy there and their starting spot is gone, and you're like, yeah, that guy ain't got it no more. It wasn't the case. He just kind of wanted something different for himself, and I respect that. But nonetheless, when he did that, he still had a lot left in the tank. So, and it's still showing in his game.
Yeah, just given how well-read he is and just involved philanthropically, what have you kind of learned from him? Any perspectives he shared? Just any worldly views?
I've learned a ton from him. One of the smartest people I've ever been around. And he's just smart, in a bunch of different areas. Like, he's knowledgeable in every topic that comes up. He has some sort of knowledge in it. And, it's special to be around someone like that and just be able to learn from. I know last year, sitting on a plane, me, JaVale, or Steph, we'll just go to, like, D. West, what you got for us today? Man, the earth is off 3 centimeters, like, just something off the wall that you're like, man, how do you know this? Like, it's, just very smart, and fun person to be around. But like I said, you just gain so much knowledge from being around someone like that.
Draymond, when the Thunder were eliminated, Westbrook was pretty outspoken about some of the fan behavior that he's been going through. You must hear as much as any player in the league. Where is the line of acceptability with that, and how do you mentally try not to cross that line yourself?
I saw Russell's comments, and I heavily, strongly agree with them. I don't mind fans coming to the game and cheering. I mean, at the end of the day, that's how, we make our salaries. That's how we provide for our family. I don't mind people coming to support their team. Hell, I don't even mind somebody getting a little out of line. Like, that's just a part of sports. But to Russell's point, some of the things that people say, they wouldn't say to me if I was just walking up the street. If they were standing face to face with me and not protected, they wouldn't say that. And so my thing is, if you wouldn't say that face to face with me, then don't say it then. And if you would say it face to face with me, then hey, do what you do. But there should be consequences that come with that. And whatever that consequence is, it is what it is. But I just think, as on Twitter, as on Instagram, so many people hide behind a computer screen or hide behind the fact that they know we can't necessarily say this or do that, and they hide behind that and they use it to their advantage. And it's the same thing in games. People know we can't go on the stands. People know we almost can't say anything back, without taking a hit in our pockets, So I think people use that to their advantage, and I think there needs to be, I think there's a fine line in between supporting your team and completely disrespecting someone's life or lives, for that matter. And I think that we need to be closer to that line than we're allowed to be. I think so many people teeter that line on whether they want to cross it or not, and we're just kind of held here. Nonetheless, like I said, you want fans to come cheer, you want to come support. So I just try to, if they say something crazy to me, I kind of laugh at them and, throw little shots back, and it is what it is. But, I'm not going to go on this tangent about, they should be barred or banned from the game or whatever it is. Like, man, it's basketball at the end of the day. Now I've become a big soccer fan, especially, Premier League and all that stuff, and those fans do a lot worse than what we see. So when you think about it in that aspect, I don't never really see Neymar or Messi come out and say, man, these fans are crazy. Like, no, that's kind of a way of life. So if anything, I just try to use it as fuel.
Generally, do you think arena security is pretty good about snuffing that stuff out, or sometimes do some things linger too long?
I think sometimes it lingers just because of the simple fact, yeah, you're arena security, but you're still a fan of that team. Like, you're not there 41 nights a year and like, oh, I'm just here for a paycheck. You love that team too, so you ain't really trying to put your fans out, and that's understandable. You want that home court advantage. You want to win just like anyone else do as a fan. So maybe it lingers on too long, but like I said, who cares? It is what it is. I go out there to play basketball and try to win games. Somebody's going to try to do their part and help their team win. And that's their business. It is what it is.
Has there ever been anything that pushed you further than maybe other things have?
I've seen things, I've heard things, and something that really pissed me off, but it is what it is.
Who do you have in Champions League?
Man, I think Madrid at home gets it done. And then you got Roma, Liverpool tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. Roma been there before, now coming back from down. So, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. But I got Madrid tonight for sure.